Okay, I think I'm live. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. I don't even know. I set up one live invite. That live invite is not doing nothing. I don't even know if I can share this. Okay. Struggle is real, I tell you. I'm trying to figure out this YouTube business. I do not know. I do not know how to figure out this YouTube business. Hello, you. I don't know who you are, but hello, hi. I'm trying to figure out this YouTube business. I set up a link earlier to be able to chat with other people, like have somebody actually come on board. And it turns out I'm not able to go live until someone actually joins my broadcast. So because of that, I couldn't continue with that link. But to those who are joining that do not know me, I am Becca, aka the Serenadian, host of the Dimdin Podcast. I'm trying out this live business that I am not familiar with. You think I know technology because I am young, but I am finding my way around. You're welcome to leave a chat. Let me know who's on. Put your name on the chat box. Eventually, I'll figure out how to bring you up if you want to join and have a one-on-one conversation with me. But we want to debrief our most recent episode, which was on the challenges Africans or diasporans experience when they transition overseas, around the areas of their academic and professional backgrounds experiences not being recognized here in the diaspora. And the experience is different for everybody. It is. Some people have a more easier time going through that transition than others, but I genuinely thought it was necessary to have that conversation because I had met lawyers and doctors, people of high career standards in the country that relocated here and were doing jobs that they were overqualified for because they could not get into the jobs that they were qualified for. And so for that episode, I invited Juliet and Jade. Juliet is from Nigeria and Jade from Cameroon. They've both had experiences in the professional and the academic area, and they were willing to share those experiences. So we had a chat about that, and we left it up to you to share if you've had experiences. So if you have not relocated yet to the Western world, or abroad as we call it, and you have questions in that regard, please put those questions in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to provide answers. I have about 15 minutes to do this, so use my time well, okay? Use my time. I'm here for you. I don't do this often, but I thought, hey, I want to meet you guys. I want to be able to engage with my viewers, especially those that do not know me personally. I'd like to get to know you and would like for you to introduce yourselves. So please use that chat box. It's there for a reason. Tell me who's watching, who you are, where you're watching from. This is why this is one thing that YouTube does not have, or maybe I don't know how to use it. I probably just don't. So please send me the feedback, questions. First of all, have you watched the episode? If you're watching right now, have you watched our most recent Dimdin Podcast episode? The episode on this is so interesting. It feels like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not really because I know people are listening. It feels even more scary than when we're actually recording the episodes. It literally feels like you're talking to yourself. I promise I am not talking to myself. I'm talking to you, whoever you are that is watching right now. Let's hear your names. Help me believe that I am not alone here. Here. Use that chat box. Use that chat box. Use that chat box. Use that chat box. Tell me who you are. Who are you and where are you watching from? Who are you? I see 2 people, which is amazing. So tell me, who are you and where are you watching from, please? I'd like to know who's with me. Again, I am Becca, aka the Serenadian. That name came from my dual identity as a Sierra Leonean and a Canadian. So, Sierra Canadian. I can help you craft yours as well if you are someone with a dual identity. But tell me who you are, who's watching. Please use the chat box and just leave a message. There's 3 of you now. What? Yes! Celebrating those wins, those major wins. Who are you? Let me know who you are or where you're watching from. Do you have a dual identity as well? Have you traveled outside of your country of birth? Did you have any? Hi, Juliet. Juliet, one of our guests on the episode. Juliet, do you want to come up and chat with people? Hi, Auntie Masira. Hey, look at my biggest fans. Yes. Auntie is my mama. Yeah, it's beautiful. Ooh, we are 6 in number now. I'm at work. Okay, I understand. But yeah, if there's anything you want to add to everything you already shared on that episode, hey, please feel free to put it in that chat box right here. If you're just joining us, please introduce yourself. Who are you? Where you're watching from? We've gone from 3 people to 6 people. What? Hey, this is amazing. Amazing. I'm trying this out. So I'm really excited for every single person that joins us. But I want to know who you are. Who are you? And where you're joining from? Have you watched our episode on from Africa to abroad, the challenges of our credentials being recognized here in this country? Have you ever traveled outside of your country of birth? What was that like for you? Did you experience any of those challenges? I want to learn about you a little bit. So tell me, first of all, if you want to come up and chat with us, or if you just want to put a question or comment in the chat box and I'll read it out for everybody. But I want to know who you are. Aside from Mrs. Ajoloko, I'll start with the first names. Robert Cabo. Hey, hi Robert, how are you? I don't know if I'm at the right place. Yes, you are absolutely at the very place you should be right now. This is the right place. 100% you are at the right place. Thank you so much for making time to join us. We really do appreciate you. If you want to come up and chat with us, if you want to come and engage with myself, hey, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that if I can figure it out. And yeah, so far we have Juliet. I think my Siri, have mercy on me. I'm going to have to refer to you with your first name for now. Not because I'm disrespectful. Please have mercy on me just for the benefit of everybody watching right now. So she's my auntie. Auntie has to go before the Masiri, but for now I'll just say Mrs. Conte, okay? And we have Juliet, we have Robert Cabo. Mr. Robert, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from, if you don't mind letting us know? Please engage. You have me for another 45 minutes. That is a long time. Virat came in. Hi, how are you? Where are you joining from, Virat? Where are you joining from? Sounds a little bit like India, Lebanon, anywhere from, did I get that right at all? I just want us to discuss and debrief the most recent episode that was aired on the Dimdin Podcast. It was around the challenges experienced by immigrants. India, yes, I got that right. Yes, I love Indian movies, by the way. Hrithik Roshan, is that his name? He's one of my favorite actors, by the way. Just putting it out there. I watch a lot of Indian movies, a lot of them. So thank you for making time to join our broadcast here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, a little bit about me. I'm a podcaster, and we talk quite a bit about issues that diasporans face in the diaspora. Our most recent episode is on the challenges we face in having our credentials, academic and work experiences transferred here in the diaspora, and how that does affect us in different ways. And we also talked about what you can do to bridge that barrier. So if you have watched the episode, thank you. Please type in that comment section what was your favorite aspect, what you liked most about it or don't like about it. Provide us feedback. And if you haven't watched it, this is your cue to run to the Dimdin channel and click subscribe and watch it. Please watch it. Okay. I feel like I'm talking a lot. I need you guys to give me something to talk about. Question, comment, something, please. A question, a comment, a question. Have you had any experiences of that nature? How did you handle it? You ever traveled outside of your country of birth? Let us know. Let us know in the comment section. This is so anxiety driven, okay? Like being live, when you see the numbers go up of people that are joining the live, you're like, and then you see the numbers go down and you're like, no, don't leave me yet. I'm not done yet, please. The struggle is real. The struggle is real, I tell you. Virat, have you ever traveled outside of India? How about you, Mr. Robert? Are you joining us from England or some part in Africa? Let us know. I had mentioned during the podcast that from my experience, being able to join a program called A Chance to Choose, which I am working hard to implement here for Sierra Leoneans migrating to Canada, especially in Edmonton area. A Chance to Choose was a really good way for me to learn the employment skills that are required of me, because in that program I learned some numeracy skills. I learned some, what were the other things? There were about 7 different work ethics that we had to learn. Hello, Mr. MacTime. Thank you very much for joining. Very much appreciated. Please let us know if there was anything about the episode that you loved. If you have any experiences you'd like to share, I really would appreciate your input. I don't want to feel like I'm talking alone to myself, so please engage in the chat box. If you're just joining us, please put in your name and where you're joining from. I was talking about this program called A Chance to Choose that taught about 7 work ethics, skills you need to know to be able to successfully transition into the work environment and to actually maintain that job. Because getting a job is one thing, maintaining the job is a whole other thing. I find that sometimes people put so much effort into getting a job, and once they get it, they start to relax a little bit by not showing up to work on time, leaving too early, not following through with their responsibilities, not engaging with clients professionally, and all of that could definitely lead to you losing that job eventually. I see Auntie Masiri says here, everything about that episode is in place. Thank you very much. This will make us be prepared for what we are going to meet if we are fortunate to travel abroad. Hopefully you're fortunate to travel abroad. A big thank you to you all. Blessings, amen. Thank you, and God bless you too. God bless you too. And I think some of this is important to know even if you do not travel abroad, because it's important for us to know that whatever education we are being given in our countries abroad, because our government needs to do a lot of advocacy as well, a lot of collaboration with this countries abroad, so that these countries would recognize our curriculums, will recognize the education, the value of the education that we are getting from those countries. That way we don't have to prove ourselves as individuals, because our governments have already done the advocacy and the engagement that needs to be done between themselves, like with other governments, to show the value of our education. So when we come as individuals, we are already recognized because that work has been done, the groundwork has been done. And this again is my personal opinion, that this needs to be done on a government level, not just on a personal level. It shouldn't even be done on a personal level at all. What we need to do is focus on learning what we need to learn, getting the education, getting the work experiences, so that when we travel abroad, those education and those credentials are recognized. They should be recognized. You cannot work for 16, 17 or 10, 5 years in one country and then go to the other country and they tell you it's not valid. Hello? I worked. I learned those skills. And the skills that I learned in those 5 years is actually very valuable in your organization, in your country, because I bring in somewhat of a different lens. That added to what you already know, it could lead to a lot of great improvements and growth for your organization. Right? So going back to what I was talking about with regards to the things that could get you fired easily at a job or an employment. Now, this program that I took talked about the value of going to work on time. So if you're not able to go to work on time for any reason, pick up a phone and call your employer. Hey, for so and so reason, I'm going to be late, but I'll be at work. If you're not able to show up to work at all because you're sick or something came up, communicate that to your employer, which some people do not do. They just expect you to figure it out. Hey, if you don't see me in an hour, you will know that I did not make it to work, and deal with it. That kind of an attitude gets you fired really quick. Because if that employer has something planned for that day and needs a certain amount of people to accomplish that task, and you were one of the people that employer was relying on, now you fail to show up, you are actually going to delay production for that day. And if they cannot count on you as an individual, then you are not seen as a valuable person on that team. So those are the things that we have to keep in mind as well. Yes, these employers have a responsibility to recognize our credentials and recognize our academic background. We also have a responsibility to learn a little bit about some of the expectations here in this part of the world, because it may not. Back home, you probably can negotiate your way through things like that. Hey, I sorry you, and I know you kind of workplace, or if you go to workplace sometimes because of waiting, then they pay you, where you pay not necessarily waiting and call. Maybe you have the privilege to be lackadaisical. Oh my goodness, did I pronounce that well? Oh, help me out, please. Send information in that chat box. I feel like Mohammed Jallo. Hi, boss. This is an incredible episode. Lots to learn. Great opportunity for potential immigrants. Blessings to Becca. Oh, thank you. Okay, everybody, to everybody watching, Mr. Mohammed Jallo is my boss. Okay, I got to know. I've known him for a while. I'm sorry for talking about this, but I've known him for a while. But here is here is a man who's a really good example of great work ethics, determination, and perseverance. Okay, he was once upon a time in the diaspora in England, and he decided, hey, things are not necessarily working here as they should, so I'm going to go back to my country of birth, which is Sierra Leone, and I'm going to put my learned skills and education into use. I'm going to create jobs. I'm not only going to work, I'm also going to create jobs for the individuals in Sierra Leone. When I tell you great work ethics, when I tell you great communication skills, when I tell you perseverance and just determination, that's him. So he created an organization called LIWAF, Lady Ellen Women's Aid Foundation. Lady Ellen Women's Aid Foundation. If you haven't heard of that yet, look it up. Go on Google, look for LIWAF, Lady Ellen's Women's Aid Foundation. And in this organization, they support primarily women in different areas. I would actually focus on calling those areas, but I probably will not do a very good job at that right now. So if anybody wants to learn a little bit more, if you're in Sierra Leone or in a different part of the world and you want to learn a little bit more about Lady Ellen's Women Aid Foundation, Mr. Jallo, can you put the link to your website in the chat box, please, so people can just click on that and that will take them to your website. But here, right? And so as an employer, he probably would be able to speak a lot to some of the challenges that I experienced from staff in the West, in Africa, in Sierra Leone as well, because maybe the expectations, some of the things we do that we can get away with, we don't necessarily get away with in this part of the world. So there's definitely some transition that is needed. There's definitely some molding and remolding that is needed of the mindset, of the physical, but that does not make you underqualified for the jobs here in the diaspora, right? But the more we give attention to these topics, the more we talk about the frustrations that we experience, the more we can get ourselves out there, get people to really understand some of what we're going through, and we can make changes in the right direction. So check out LIWAF, check out what Mr. Jallo is doing in Sierra Leone. He's supporting over 6,000 women. 6,000 women, and has over 30 staff, and has about 3 to 5 branches already in Sierra Leone. Yeah. So whoever in England did not see the value in what this immigrant had to offer, He went back into his country and he is giving this value in his country. The joke is on you. Yes, Patricia said so. On a serious note, though, this is what some of you miss out on by trying to undermine the value that diasporans bring to your workplaces. And Timasiri says exactly, our credential and working experiences may be more valid than theirs, but being in the country, you just have to adapt to the system exactly, which is bad and inhumane for us. God help us. To an extent, yes, because it's like we all have different ways of knowing and being, right? When I like growing up in Sierra Leone, there were certain things that I was familiar with. There were certain things that I was used to that are not necessarily the same here. Say a good example is in Sierra Leone, I did not have to work, right? Because I was a child that was supposed to be taken care of by my family, and I misused that privilege to an extent because I felt like, you know what, my father shows up for me to do whatever. When I need my birthday celebrated, they should be celebrated. When I just felt entitled, very entitled to an extent. But then coming to Canada when I was about 21 years old, I saw that 18-year-old people, humans, had mortgages of their own. They already had their homes, they had jobs, they had vehicles, they were independent. And here was this 21-year-old who was expecting everything to come from the adults in my life. I should have spoken to that. Yes, I am the deputy executive director. So Mr. Jala is the executive director, founder, and owner of LIWAF, and I am the deputy. How I came about getting that position, I see that I'm going back and forth here, but bear with me. Because nobody's prompting me what to talk about. So when I see something in the chat box, I focus on talking about that. So how I came about being the deputy for this organization is when I completed my master's in social work, I realized that I needed to refresh my memory about my country of birth, the way things are done there. I needed to get some work experience in Sierra Leone. I needed to go back to that country where I was born and raised and just redefine my identity. So I reached out to Mr. Jalo and a few other organizations who were willing to allow me to do my practicum in there at the organization. But Mr. Jalo's, of course, was the best LIWAF, so I chose to go with that one. We're talking about different things. We're talking about the goal is to debrief our most recent episode, and as you bring up questions and comments, we'll debrief it. But until then, because I feel like I'm talking to myself, I'm responding to questions in the chat box as well. I hope that answers your question, Mr. McTime. But yeah, tell us a little bit about the episode if you've had any concerns or experiences in that area. And yeah, let's keep the conversation going. So back to how I became the deputy for LIWAF. They accepted me. It took about a year to get that approved, but I was approved, and I was the first student of University of Calgary that went to Sierra Leone, the first social work student that went to Sierra Leone to complete my placement as an international student. And that placement was one of the best experiences I ever had, because here I was coming with Western experience to Africa and trying to learn how to do things in Africa. There were, of course, fewer resources than what I was familiar with, but also the practice approach and stuff was a bit different. And it was beautiful to just sit back and watch how things are done there, comparing that to how things are done here, and trying to find that mid ground to say, hey, I want to take a little bit from here and a little bit from here and form the person, the professional that I want to be in the long run. And having their support in doing that was priceless. And I'm still truly very grateful. Thank you very much. I must have done well because they offered me a position before I left the organization. And now I feel like I'm able to leave my dual identity by working here in Canada and being able to support in Sierra Leone as well from a distance. Okay, the website is currently under remodification. That's okay. That's okay. Hopefully another time you can put it up. We have 8 people. What? Yes. Yes. Every time the number goes up, I'm just like, wee. If you're just joining us, I am Becca, aka the Serenadian, here to debrief our most recent episode. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, that's gross. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hi, Uncle Shingy. How are you? Joining all the way from England. I am so happy to see you join my life. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very grateful. So we are just talking about the most recent episode on the challenges of having our academic and professional backgrounds and experiences recognized here in the diaspora. What happened with the dialogue you promised? I've asked if anybody wants to come up because I figured out that start a poll. I'm trying to figure out how to use this thing. I don't know how to use it. I think to be able to add anybody, I have to go to the other link that allows for me to add people. So if you want to be added, let me know. I've got about 10 minutes. I can end this live, go to the other live, but you have to join the live before I am allowed to go live. Are you planning on inviting people from different countries to participate in the podcast recording? Yes. That's a great question. We've already started doing that. So I don't want to give too much spoilers I don't want to say too much because I want you to be surprised. I want to keep that surprise once it comes. But we figured out a way to do it. And now we're going to try to invite people from different parts of the world to participate on the Dimdin Podcast. I am so excited. I am so excited. So you don't have to be in Canada no more to actually be part of the Dimdin Podcast. This is for all of us after all. So now we're bringing you from your country to our set to engage with us. Yes, great question. Season 2 is all done, all recorded though. All our episodes for season 2 have been recorded and they will come out. We have episode 7 coming out this Saturday. Our teaser will be out tomorrow. And our final episode comes out next week. And so time goes by so fast, you guys. It goes by so fast. I can't believe we're already at the end of season 2. Wow. And then we start planning for season 3. Tell us, what do you want to see for season 3? Now let me hear from you all. She's just gonna sit here and wait to hear from you. She's just gonna sit here and wait to hear from you. What do you want to see? What has been your favorite episode so far? Are you in the diaspora? Did you have any challenges with your credentials being recognized here in the diaspora? What episodes do you want to see more of? What conversations do you want to see more of as we go into season 3? More material filmed outside the studio. Ah, Uncle Shingi, I'd have to call you to discuss that to see how we can incorporate that. Yeah, so then it's not just one set all the time. More material filmed outside the studio. Behind the scenes material. Okay. So some clips on some of the blunders and some of the mistakes and some of the jokes and okay. I think we can do that. We can post that separately for sure. So more behind the scenes, the making of the podcast. Can I come on your podcast and talk about white supremacy? Absolutely. Those are the kind of conversations that we have on the Dimdin Podcast, after all. The Master Gabe. The Master Gabe, where are you joining us from? And what is your name? So the best way to reach me outside of here is through the Dimdin Podcast email. If anybody can type this, please, as I call it, DIMDinPodcast@gmail.com. Send your questions, send your concerns. If you want to be a part of the episodes, send me that email. I would contact you personally. We'll have conversations and then we'll decide on the topic, on the approach. Would have practice sessions, and of course, would have that episode ready to fire out. Sounds great. I love that convo. I would enjoy that conversation. For sure. So yeah, if somebody can please type that on the chat box so everybody has access to it. It's DIMDinPodcast@gmail.com. DimdinPodcast@gmail.com. That is the best way to reach me with your questions, concerns, comments, feedback. If you want to write letters, hey, bring them on. The more I hear from you, the more... Actually, I should stop saying I. I should say we, because I may be the person in front of the camera, but there's a lot of us that are behind the camera that are holding hands to make this happen. And if all those people were not around, these episodes will not be possible. So we, Patricia, stop saying I, we would love to hear from you. Would love to hear your feedback. Would love to hear everything you have to say about the Dimdin Podcast and all the episodes that we have published so far, or we have aired so far. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, go ahead and do so. Please, in Timni, we say mamutong. In them tenemu mamutong. Go and subscribe. In Creole, we'll say a big dia. Go subscribe. And in English, of course, please, pretty please, go and subscribe to our channel. Go and watch the most recent episode on From Africa to Abroad, the challenges faced in credential recognition. Okay, I have about 10 more minutes with you guys, and then I'm gonna call it a day. But this has been amazing. This has been great. I will do this every week around this time, every week after you've had a chance to watch the episodes. Can come on and talk about them. So some of the feedback we received today, again, I'm gonna go through them. Is everything about the episode is in place. This will make us be prepared for what we are going to meet if we are fortunate to travel abroad. And that was from Mrs. Conte all the way from Sierra Leone. And here we have, this is an incredible episode, lots to learn, great opportunities for potential migrants. That again was from Mr. Jala all the way from Sierra Leone. And we have credential and working experiences maybe more valid than theirs. So like those in Africa, theirs might be more valid than the diaspora. But being in their country, you just have to adapt to their system. So we came, we'll conquer. We came, gotta learn. It's halfway, honestly. It's not all good or all bad, right? It's not all good or all bad, and that's something that I would love to speak to. We need more raffle draws for people to win prizes. Yes, Mr. MacTime. If you can start by donating, we'll take it. We're looking for donors. Okay? Hey, I'm all for raffles. I'm all for prizes. I'm all for that. But hey, we need the color. We need the dollars. We need the money. So please, if you are feeling touched, if you're feeling inspired, you're feeling moved by what we do, and you'd like to inspire other people to watch, please don't hesitate to make a donation. We'll put out a question, we'll put out a poll, we'll figure out a way to get someone to win something. And of course, once we get that person to win whatever that is, we'll send it over to them. So yes, great idea. We just need the people to actually give us what we're going to use to make those raffles. For sure. Okay. Any questions for me? And anybody curious about anything that they've been wanting to ask the Dimdin podcast host? Any curiosity? I've got 5 more minutes, so bring them on. I'm open to chatting about any questions you may have. Behind the scenes, for sure, we're definitely going to make an effort to bring up more behind the scenes materials so people can see the making of the podcast. Great idea. Great idea, Uncle Shingi. You've got me for 4 more minutes. This has been beautiful, actually. I really am grateful for the turnout. This is exciting. Very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. If you're just joining us, hey, although we're nearing the end, please put your name and where you're joining us from. Ask questions. I've been talking too much. I'm going to try that other link again next time, the one where somebody else can come up, because this thing about me talking alone, I'd like to engage with someone else. 2 more minutes. You have 2 more minutes to send in those questions. This has been really successful. I'm really grateful. Thank you all, and thanks to God for making this doable. I definitely will do more of this going forward. Definitely. I've been wanting to do this a while back, but what we want to do versus what we actually do, the struggle is real. Okay, I'm looking at that chat box. Nothing yet to respond to. I see we're at 44, 20, 30 seconds. At exactly 45 minutes, I'll let you all go. Thank you for spending 45 minutes of my lunchtime with me today. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for putting in those questions. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the suggestions. God bless you all. Thank you for your ongoing support. If you have not subscribed yet, go and subscribe into the team that holds hands with me all the time to make this possible. God bless you. I genuinely, really appreciate you. Thank you for making this possible. Until next Thursday, Sabe, Dimdin.